So, it's been a long while. Maybe it's been like more than a week now, or more or less, maybe a week, a bit more, since the last episode. I have already put a small video on what was happening and why I'm not uploading. And yes, I think it is time to record the video. The way I'm going to record the videos is going to change a bit. It's not going to be the same. And I think it's going to make first the videos more digestible and second easier for me to record them, as right now I'm starting studies again. So yes, I think we are going to go directly into the business. One of the things that we did on the previous episode was getting to start to build some structures around this new place, which will be our new base, the old Earth compound. And we are not going to be using this. What we are going to be setting up today is the sorcery facility. So all of the places that we are going to be using for Ars Nouveau, because there are a couple of things I want to set up before setting up the rest of stuff, especially energy. Because for energy we use wood, we are using benzene, and as you can see there is going to be our benzene setup, our wood setup, which is going to be way better than the regular creates that one knows. But before even starting with all of the Ars Nouveau implementations, we need a couple of things. So we need to upgrade our mage spellbook, and we also need a glyph of linger. For this we need Dragon's Breath. So yeah, in this episode we will be doing everything related to Ars Nouveau. That's why this is going to be called the Ars Nouveau Special. It's not going to be a full guide, but rather just some things that you can do very much efficiently. For example, a good source of swords, a good source of amethyst, and a pretty much efficient and very quick wood farm. However, before that, we do need to summon one more wither, and now I learned my my lesson. So we are going to spawn this here, very below the place. So this is going to be a good place, and it's not going to escape. And because this is chunk loaded, nothing will be exploded. So we do need one wither, one wither on a containment jar. This is going to be for Drigme. And the next wither we are going to take it down. Okay, so the wither does that's damage blocks. Okay. I thought it wouldn't. Now the next thing, we also need a tablet of summon Wilden. And for this we are going to augment this with one item one drop of the Wildens. So we need one horn and one wing and one spike. And this should summon the Wilden Chimera. So this will destroy these blocks. I hope I don't die. So let's do this. Ooh. Oh, it destroys a lot of blocks. I just realized that. I think it's inside a create sit. There you are, my friend. Wilden Chimera. Now we will invoke it again, but this time we will defeat it because we need a drop from this friend of here. So can you sit? Can you sit on a great sit, please? I don't think so. So easy. So easy. I think it was easier on when we were playing Enigmatica 9 Expert. I think it was easier that time. But yes, we are done with these two bosses here. Now, I've just realized the Wither is not blacklisted. It's not README blacklisted. Does that mean that I can farm the Wither stars? This is full. I need to clean all of this. I really need to find a way of cleaning. I mean, we can farm the Wither eyes. Just 10 from it. But I really don't know if we can actually farm the Wither stars. I don't think so. Because the Nether stars, yes, they are directly dropped without using a loot table. So yes, I think this is why it is not possible. However, if we throw all of this there, right there, we should be able to upgrade our spellbook. And now this can cast tier 3 glyphs. And I think we also get a bit more of source to spend. Now here we have a bunch of of ice, of end ice from End Remastered. This took me a lot of time. Maybe I'll put right now. But on video, I think I had around 3 or 2 hours of footage. And apart from that, I also have like, I don't know, maybe easily 4 hours of just exploring. And the good thing is that some of the mobs that drops the materials can be farmed through the Drigmis. So that was very nice. And as you can see, it is also, the withered eyes are also farmable. So yeah, it is pretty much nice. However, while I was exploring, I actually found the stronghold. So if we come to this share stone here, I have a lot of share stones with a lot of exploration things. And somewhere here it should be the stronghold here, overworld stronghold. So yeah, here is the stronghold. We are going to rush the stronghold. And actually, there is a deep dark here. So that's pretty much interesting. And actually we don't need to look for it because it is right here marked. So what I'll do is grab this one here, this share stone. And we will go there. It should be somewhere here. Here. Nice, we found it. Now tell me I have, yes, I only need one ender eye there because I really couldn't find 12 of the eyes. Now this is the wither eye, the rogue eye, black eye, evil eye, the undead eye, then the cursed eye, nether eye, witch eye, lost eye, cold eye, and last but not least the magical eye. And that's everything. Now, I think we are ready. This is on leap. We can just enter, I think. And let's go. This is going to be end. Okay, and we cannot teleport. Oh! Okay, I didn't know that. So it seems that we do need a kind of respiration system for the end. We need free breathing here. Now we are not going to kill the Ender Dragon. I don't think so. We're going to be doing something more simple. Because we need its breath. So we are going to trap it. We are going to try to trap it. There is it, I think. And there is it. The Ender Dragon. Why do you want to kill me, my friend? Oh, where is it? There is it. We only need one, actually. We should be fine now. However, if possible, I would like to trap the Ender Dragon, if possible. I think what we will do is just set up the things for the for the trapping, and then we will just wait. Don't worry, if we trap the Ender Dragon, it will respawn if we reload all of this place. So it is not that it is a cheese way of defeating the dragon, but it's going to make us easier to get more of this Dragon's Breath. Although I don't think I think we only need one. There is it, the dragon. We can have a dragon pet now. Isn't it cute? Now with this done, we should be able to do something else, but I forgot something. So I'm going with the minimum Bingo stuff, because we should be able to traverse to the end islands just flying like this, I think. As you can see, if we just right click with the spell book, we only consume source and no stamina. Then if we change to the paraglider, we will consume in a bit of stamina, but we will recharge in our source. But we should be able to reach the islands. I hope so. Yes. There is the islands. No, I'm getting pursued by some weird stuff. But if we put a waystone here, we should be safe. Nice. So easy is the end. The end is so easy. So the first thing we are going to do is, of course, put here our new Ender Dragon pet. He's so cute. Of course, it's not going to give us anything, just like the Wither doesn't give us anything else other than more Wither eyes. However, now that we enter the end and got some of the Dragon Breath, we should be able to craft a Linger Glyph. And with this Linger Glyph, we should be able to craft this Spell Parchment, which we are going to be using to produce a lot of source. Another thing that we are going to be needing is not this. We need to take out all of this setup here. That means that we are going to disarm this create setup. This is not going to be useful in here anymore. We could leave this in order to use the encase fan, but we will look at another solution for that. For now, we can just disarm everything. Now the last thing we need is actually something new, which is going to be very helpful for us. And for this we need an advanced assembly. Yes, an advanced assembler. If we put a cauldron, 2 HP pumps and 1 HP circuit, very soon we should be able to get some infinite water here. We can produce 800 millibuckets per tick of water. That is very nice. That is way better than using the setup we were using here. This one here for water. And the good thing is that because it is a cover, it doesn't use any energy. So we can just use it like that. Now all of this is already set up. We only need to build all of the create things and just start with all of the process. So for each circle of this, we are going to be having not set up like this. So we are going to be using this small setup here. We are going to be using a create harvesting system together with an Ars Nouveau growing system. So each one of these circles has a spell turret above aiming towards a slab. It has to be a slab. This is very important. And it also has a small create harvester system together with some mechanical harvesters. The idea is that with this spell turret, we are going to grow the plants, we are going to grow the crops, then we are going to harvest it. And because this is not connected to any inventory, it will just drop the items to the floor. And the next time this spell turret launches the spell, it will pick up the item at the end of the spell cycle. So it will first launch one spell, all of the plants will grow, the harvester will harvest the crops and leave the items on the ground, And the next time this one shoots, it will pick up all of the items and deposit them into this controller access point. The controller access point is connected to this storage controller, which has this drawer here as an inventory, which is where all of the source berries will be deposited. And here we have a quite simple mycelial source link setup, in which we are going to be using source berries as a source for source. Very simple. Very simple. Now, ideally, it would be very nice to centralize our create the Steam production. However, we are going to be using this simple thing here. So we can grab a GregTech barrel. We are putting it right here, and then we can connect this together with a water source. Now this barrel is full of water. What we should be able is to just first connect one of these steam engines. Now this converts this into a steam producer, a steam boiler, and we can connect any kind of electric pump. In this case, we don't need really that much. So an ULB will work. And we should be able to just grab one shaft. And as you can see, this is producing stress units. How much? I don't know, because I don't have my goggles with me. But we are producing enough to provide with stress units for all of our harvesters. And I mean, they are moving. They are not moving together, but they are moving. Of course, there is something I forgot, and that is to use a slime ball here. So it connects the linear chassis together with the rest of the contraption. What? What? What is going on? This is so weird. Now, this should work. I think. I hope. Yes, it works. The problem, it is rotating the wrong side. So we can do something very simple, and that is this. And they are now rotating the correct side. Nice. Now we should be able to just plant all of these source berries. And that is the farm. Very basic, very simple, but it will be very much efficient. And as you can see, it is still not working, but whenever we start getting some source berry here, and whenever we start needing some source to be refilled, all of these pedestals will be filled with one source berry each, which will be converted into source thanks to this mycelial source link here, which will be transferred to this jar here in this case, and in this side into this jar. And all of this is being recollected by this source relay, which is going to basically be connected right now, because I don't have any connection to this, into this depositor here. And this depositor will deposit source into every single jar that we will be putting in this place, which is empty. I still have to do the jars and everything. Now, before saying that we are finished with all of this process, we need to actually make those these turrets here work. And for that, we are going to be using redstone links in order to make all of this process way simpler. We are not going to link it yet, because first I think it's going to be better to set it up, everything. Now all of the redstone, I think we are going to be doing this just here. We are going to be doing a very basic redstone clock, the one we are using for the tree farm. So basically whenever this redstone, this comparator receives some redstone signal, it will create a clock. And the speed will depend on how much delay does these two repeaters has. And we are going to output the result into this redstone link. We also need to send a redstone signal. And for that we are going to be using actually a threshold switch right here, which is going to observe this oak drawer, which I think is not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work. So after that, I stopped the recording. I stopped the recording because I was getting this oak barrel. The farm is already done. It's already completed. So yeah, it's yes. Anyway, let's go back to the beginning. So I replaced first all of this storage system with a gold barrel. Sophisticated storage. It also has a kind of storage controller, which is craftable, and a storage input-output thing. The problem is that we cannot really craft these storage input-output things, and it would be pretty much a pain to use this storage controller without these inputs-outputs. So this is a very much easy fix. We are still using the drawers. However, the drawers are only going to be a kind of intermediary. So we have a gold barrel together with an advanced hopper upgrade, which will pull the items from the drawer and will push them into the system. Very simple. Now, because this is actually pushing, I don't think we need these conveyor belts. However, I'll still put it because this allows all of the system to round robin, which is something that it is very important because we want to place the source berries in as many pedestals as possible. So I think I already explained. The clock is the same as we use for the tree farm. Very simple. Just a comparator in subtractor and 2 repeaters. If we want this farm to be slower, we can add more repeaters in a greater delay. This redstone link is the one that turns on or off the clock, which is connected into this threshold switch, which reads the inventory of this barrel here. So whenever it gets over 90%, it will stop the farm, and whenever it gets into 30%, it will start the farm again. We want this to be like this because my computer is not good. I'm playing from a laptop, so my resources are quite limited. Right now the computer is an airplane. the fans are like an airplane turbine, so yes, it's not something good. So if we can save on resources, that is very nice. It will be very accepted. So the second part of the clock is the output of the signal, which will be pim pam, pim pam, pim pam, pim pam, something like that, on off, on off. The thing with the turrets from Ars Nouveau is that they will be active whenever they get a signal pulse. So just like a lever, like it is on off, on off, on off, we need to send pulses to the turrets instead of a persistent signal. So that's why we want a clock like that one. And you will have to have my word that this works. Actually, let's do something. Just so you see that this works. So this should reach 30% right now, yes. And as you can hear, the farm is working. There is it. So let's use this one as an example. The turret, it shoots to the slab right there. Always be sure that the turret is aiming to this slab and not to the ground floor. If not, then the linger effect won't affect the crops. It will grow the crop. The harvester will harvest the crop, throwing the outputs into the floor, and the following shoot of the turret will grab all of the source berries, which will be stored into that access controller, which will be connected to this storage controller, which puts all of these source berries into that drawer, which is connected to this oak barrel. Very, very simple, but very effective. It is very effective. This is very nice. this consumes a lot of source, and look at how we are keeping up with the source. And as you can see, we're producing a very much surplus of source berries, so we can easily put a couple more of these modules here, maybe 8 more mycelial source links. And as you can see, this stopped just like that. Very nice, very nice. I really love this. I really love this. Let me grab a better view of the farm of the module. So this is one module. It is a circle. It has a 3-block radius. 1 block will be reserved for a slab, which will have the turret aiming to it. In the center we have all of the system that basically does all of the recollection thanks to the harvester. And next to the turret we have a storage option. In this case I'm using storage drawers. We have a clock, which in this case will be down there on the basement and connected through that redstone link. And we have a source jar. To provide this resource, we have some warpers, which will warp the source we're producing from down there to the warper to each one of the jars. And yes, and that's everything. Very simple. If you want the spell, here is it. The spell I'm using projectile with linker, sensitive, AoE, 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 grow, and item pickup. You could also move the item pickup to the end, and after the grow, put a harvest. It is supposed to work, but when I was testing this farm on these setups, it didn't work. I don't know why, but it just didn't work. So that's why I decided to go with creates harvesters. If not, you can easily do a harvest system as well into that spell that the turret is using. And of course, to save on source, we are using enchanted spell turrets. I mean, really, you haven't really lost that much. It's just that the audio has been lost, and we have already done all of this drifting on the regular base. So I think it's just explaining how this works is going to be enough. Now, you know, Ars Nouveau, I really didn't think that you would be able to create such a crazy tree farm with this, but this really is, it's way better than creates. One could think that create tree farms are like way better, like they are the best, but no, just download Ars Nouveau and do this. This is crazy. This is crazy. In order to make this tree farm, you actually need 3 spell turrets. At least 1 spell turret is going to be for recollecting items, so you don't need 1 per each tree farm you are making if all of the tree farms are together. But you do need 2 turrets per each small cluster that you are going to be farming. So the first turret has a touch, place block, and grow times 5. What this will do is grab any sapling from an inventory, in this case this drawer that has Betsin Artwood saplings, and plant it, and then immediately grow it to its final form. And then this other turret, which has touch, fell, and AoE times 6, is going to just fall the tree and will drop all of the items into the floor. And that's where the last turret here that has touch, sensitive, item pickup, AoE times 6 is going to take all of the items and store it. This turret here has a 7 block range. I think it's 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you add more AoE, it's going to be even bigger, the radius. And yes, and that's everything. That's really everything. Now, something that you have to take into consideration when building this farm is the direction of the turrets that are pointing to, especially if you are growing a sapling like the Betsin Artwood sapling. And we will have a sapling here, and I will grow it. Now, you have taken into consideration the direction that its sapling is going to be growing to. So as you can see, this sapling here has a trunk base of 2x2, and there are some logs that also grow to the sides. These ones you cannot beat them, in case there is a block or a torch or something surrounding the base trunk, it is not going to matter. So this block is not going to appear. So imagine the trees like this. If we grow this is still going to grow. And as you can see, as long as the main trunk is a 2x2, it is going to grow. You have to take into consideration the direction of the tree growing. So we are going to put the sapling here in this block. Here is in this block, it is the sapling. So let's break these two blocks. And as you can see, this sapling grew to that direction, to the southeast. Here was the sapling, and here are the rest of the trunk being generated. Let's grow another one here. In this block here, the sapling was planted, and the tree grew to the same direction, to the southeast. So if the tree you're planting has a 2x2 trunk, then you have to make sure that you know to which direction the sapling will grow. If it is something like an oak tree, that won't matter really that much, because it just grows in the block that it is being planted. But things like this hardwood that will grow a 2x2 trunk from one sapling, it does matter the direction that you are pointing the turrets. So having that, as I said before, in the source farm, these spell turrets, they don't work with a constant redstone signal. You have to give the signals impulse if you want them to shoot several times. So that's why we here have a clock, and this clock will depend on how full this barrel is. It seems that the threshold switch is a bit bugged with oak drawers, so we are just using the drawers as an input, and we are using these barrels as the actual storage of the log we are farming. We have here a conveyor belt. The logs, they get transferred quicker, and we have this threshold switch here set. For example, it will give a redstone signal whenever it is at 90% or lower, and it will turn off the redstone signal, and it will turn on again whenever it reaches 20% full. This is off, so the farm is off. And here we have two outputs. This is also important. The outputs, if you want them to be synchronized, you need to have them in different timings. So whenever this gives a redstone signal, this redstone link will be the first one that will receive the signal, and then this redstone link will be the second one that will receive the signal. They won't receive the signal at the same time. So it first activates this, and then it activates this. That means that first it will activate the place block, and then will activate the fell. That's all. It is that simple. It is really not that hard to make. And of course, because we are using one spell turret for all of these 4 modules, we also need to have a separate clock from this one. As you can see, this is the clock, and here we have the switch. This thing will just grab any signal from each module. So in this case, it will receive the red frequency of each module. In this case, it will receive this signal here, and in this case, this signal here. So whenever this line is working, then this will power on. Whenever this line is working, the recollection will power on as well. If both are working, then it will also work. If none of them is working, then the turret won't be recollecting stuff. So we make sure that we are not just activating this just for activating. And just to show you that this works, let me just throw all of this wood. And now, as you can see, the clock is working. This threshold switch, it is emitting a redstone signal, which activates the clock. It will first plant the sapling, and then it will fell it. This is also connected to the switch. So as you can see, This is turning on, thus giving a redstone signal to that. Now, so you can also see the farm work. As you can see, this is planting the tree and growing it, and then this is felling it. Sometimes it won't grow it directly, it needs one more shoot, but most of the times it is going to just grow it and then break it, and it is very nice. Now, of course, as you can see, there are some logs that are being lost on the sides. It really doesn't matter, it won't make a huge of a difference, but in the future we will be improving the recollecting system of our tree farm. And we are also recollecting apples, tea leaves, which these one are supposed to be disabled, but they are not. Well, we are also recollecting sticks and acorns. And of course we have a point upgrade. And that simple is the tree farm. It's really not that hard, and you can make this even quicker. It will all depend on the delay of the tick. All of this process, you can even do it on a 1 tick clock. But again, the speed will actually depend on how much source you can produce. So yeah, have that into consideration if you are making this farm. Now, while I was editing, I realized that the footage was around 27 minutes when I finished editing the first half of the video together with the source farm. So yes, I'm going to finish it right here. My plan was also to build the Weird Brick farm here. I also have the small storage system here set up, and also make this a small golem system so we can get all of the different kind of essences and source gems on passive. But it'll take a bit of time, and you know, it's been like a lot of time. I think now from the previous episode, now it should be like maybe 2 weeks or almost 2 weeks. So yeah, it's been a lot of time, and I still need to finish to put the tree farm footage and then this outro, and I also have to set up the Drigmis. So yeah, it's a lot, and it's really not that interesting. So I think I can do that off camera. However, the most interesting things that might be the most interesting are our source production system right here and the tree farm. I think both of them are the most important ones. So yes, as long as I have them on video, that is okay. I think it is okay for the episode. I feel it is not that much content I did today. Well, not today, but for this episode. But yes, we are just starting. Now, before going out, the following episodes, the few following episodes that we are going to be building on this base, they might feel a bit not synchronized. So for example, here in our clipboard, we have Ars Nouveau, we have benzene and energy distribution, we have AE2 and auto crafting, and we have passive and processing resources. After I finish this, all of these 4 bullet points, we can continue progressing through the modpack. For now, we can consider Ars Nouveau as finished. We've done a source generation and a tree farm. This Dreamy setup and Weird Spirit setup, I'll be doing it another time off camera, but we can consider Ars Nouveau as completed. However, benzene and energy distribution, at least only for benzene, I want to try and make nitrobenzene, but for that I need nitric acid. And for nitric acid, I would like to have some of the liquids already on passive, or at least semi-passive. So that means that I also need to get into some passive of resources. In the next few days, I might start in doing benzene, but the next episode you might see is actually, for example, passive in liquid air, liquid nether air, doing some petrochemistry, and passive in some of the acids like sulfuric, and some other gases and liquids like chlorine, ethanol, methanol, and fluorine, and some of the crafting liquids that we use the most, so polyethylene, polytetrafluoroethylene, regular ethylene, styrene butadiene. So yeah, you might see in the next episode that we are going to be passive in some of these acids and liquids, but you might see that we have already benzene on production, and I haven't uploaded the benzene video. Because for benzene I also want to have nitrobenzene before uploading the video. So yeah, next episode you might see already some benzene going on, but that doesn't mean that the episode haven't been uploaded. It is just that I want to have the episode well structured and recorded, so I don't do like a 30-minute episode about benzene and then just 7 minutes of nitrobenzene and also me studying. I might take a bit more of time to produce the episodes, but I swear, after all of this, it will just be progression, and that will be more fluid. This is the end of the episode. We finished with the most important things of Ars Nouveau, and having this tree farm will allow us to have our benzene production running smoothly. If you're still here, thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you have a better day, because it can always be better, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.